you guys to a special opportunity that we have this morning, and this is being videotaped, so let's be on our best behavior. All right, so we've got students from different groups, FBLA, FCCLA, Computer Science Group, Mrs. Lee, and Ms. Davis, Mr. Mahan, he's in here. So we have, there he is, Mr. Mr. Mann. Yes. That's it, I got it. These students are wildly interested in what you have to say. They've got questions prepared, so around about 11 o'clock-ish, if we could go to their questions. You guys have a pass that's coming to you, so don't worry about your next class. You will be able, when we leave here at like 11:15, we will give you this pass. You can go to lunch, and then you use this pass to get into your third block pass, right? Your third or odd day today. So make sure that when we leave, we get one of these guys. And is there a student leader here? Is Allison here? Is Alyssa here? So we're still waiting on some people. Where is she? I was going to give her a minute. I'll deal with this stuff. This is there she is. You want to say something?
Sorry, I was wrong.
I'm putting you on the spot. This is a life lesson. So our folks here today are from a group, as you guys had met with me, your leadership, and talked about who they are, the 212 group. And 212 is a principle that's basically the 212th degree is where water starts to boil. At 211, not much is happening, but it's that extra degree. They have a networking group, and there are other chapters that are in the city, around the country, probably too. Would you say?
Just around Virginia.
Because the gentleman who started this was actually a parent at a middle school that I worked at several years ago. So it's a small world that this is coming back around. He helped us with some stuff then, so it's really cool. I want to highlight Mr. Brown with the baseball cap over there is a photographer, and if you've ever been in our lobby at our school, he did those pictures that are right next to the elevator. He's a Tucker graduate, and you had children go here to this school. So very invested. He contacted me, and I don't want to take up too much time. I want to give him some context. He contacted me this summer. It's a cool thing that an alumni of the school would want to reach out to me to give back to something or to give something to you that he felt like you guys would benefit from. And our folks that are here today, you've taken time out of your busy schedule to be with us, and I know this is something that you guys do, but thank you for doing it here so they can see things from your perspective and hopefully ask you some good, thought-provoking questions. All right, so I'm going to just, if you don't mind using the mics, you may not need to, but I'm going to offer the mic to you guys. Do you want to start the meeting? So basically, they're going to simulate a meeting to a certain extent, an abbreviated version of their networking meeting. So thank you, guys.
Hello, my name is Matthew Brown, and so this group that you see in front of us is a group of volunteers who are all part of the 212. We're not all in the same network. We're all in the same network, but we're not all on the same team. But we formed this team for you all today in order for you to see how this works. And actually we have the person right here, Andy, who is the person who came up with 212, and he's going to stand up and tell you about 212.
All right, good morning, everybody. First of all, thanks for having us here. Y'all have an amazing high school. I know y'all love it, right? Anyway, my name is Andy Fulgham. I'll tell you a quick story. I started my business in 1999. It's called Atlantic Logo Wear. We do custom screen printed apparel, custom embroidered apparel, all types of branded marketing products. And at the time, in 1999, I spent what I considered to be a lot of money on traditional advertising. Back in those days, it was newspaper, it was magazines, it was a little bit of radio, TV, horrible results, right? Just all that money down the toilet. So I got involved with a business referral organization. What we focus on in 212 is what we call permission-based referrals. Let me tell you something about owning a business or even being in sales, right? It's tough out there. I'll tell you in particular, Richmond is highly competitive. So competitive. So if you're a business owner, you could spend, $10,000, $15,000 a month in Google ads and stuff like that. Or what's even easier, I think, is to develop a network of trusted professionals, like these people. We all have clients. I've been in business now 25 years. I've got a bunch of clients. And when you have these clients for as many years as many of us have, you have this relationship with your clients. When I sit down with my clients and I hear them say something like, oh, you know, our website is so outdated. We really need to really update our website. I'm triggered by that. And we all are triggered by that. We go, oh. That is Steve Fair. Let me hook you up with Steve Fair. He creates the best websites I've ever seen. You okay to talk with Steve? I'm creating what we call a permission-based referral. My client says, yes, please. I would love to talk to Steve. Fantastic. So I go to our meetings, and our meetings are once a week, right? For 1 hour. They're very short meetings, but it's a packed agenda. We're going to attempt to replicate what we do in about a 30-minute period. But this is what we do. We introduce each other to our clients, right? And my clients, just like their clients, trust them, right? Cool thing about 212 too, we all sign what we call a covenant. It is a promise that we make to every other member in 212. There are currently 58 teams. These teams are go up to Virginia Beach, to Northern Virginia, all around Virginia. Teams are about 12 to 25 members per team. And what we try to focus on is inviting lots of guests. Here's the thing, in 212, we will do business with each other, right? Absolutely. And we do business with the people that we introduce these people to, our clients, right? We'll do business like that as well. But overwhelmingly, it's amazing how much business we do with our guests. So 212 people are very, what I call guest-centric. We're constantly bringing in new guests and exposing them to what we do. And it just makes the whole sales process so much easier. When your phone rings and says, oh, you know, let's see, Jennifer said I needed to use you. We need 2,500 tote bags for a show we're doing in Vegas, right? It just falls into your lap, and there's just nothing from a sales professional point of view, there is nothing more valuable than that, okay? It's all about sales. So without further ado, what we're gonna do is we're gonna replicate what we do, or kind of a shorter version, but I'll tell you, if you have questions, raise your hand. We'll stop and we'll try to answer those questions. And of course, at the end of this, we're gonna have a little Q&A, so if you have questions for that as well, we'll be ready for you. Okay, without further ado, we're gonna get started.
All right, good morning, welcome to 212. We are Team Synergy. I'd like to introduce our governing committee. Andy is our vice chair, Ashley is our team administrator, and my name is Tracy. I'm this year's chairperson. And I would like to personally welcome our guests. Normally we would have guests at our meeting, but today you guys are our guests, so we'd like to welcome you. And at this time, I'd like Ashley to read our overview.
212 Referral Network is unlike traditional networking organizations. We only pass permission-based referrals, not leads. This means that when you receive a referral, the person you are being referred to is expecting your call. Further, you have been highly recommended as a quality resource. As a member of 212, you must also comply with our covenant. Part of that covenant is that we promise to adhere to the highest ethics and only deliver superior service to the referrals we receive. Additionally, 212 has a proprietary gratitude incentive component. Most professions can take part in this. Those who choose to participate with our gratitude incentive program should see a higher number of referrals as well as higher quality referrals. At 212 Referral Network, we're very serious about your success.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, now it's time to take a stack of our business cards and we're gonna pass them to the right. So you guys, normally during this time, we would take a stack of our business cards, we would pass them around, and each of us would take a business cards from each business owner. And we do that because when we're out and about and I, at a client's house and I hear someone that's looking for a plumber, I say, all right, I know a great plumber. His name is Rob. He's with One Tom Plumbing. I can take his business cards and I can hand that business card to my client. All right, so now it is time for our 30-second member profile. Our members will go first, and then we will come back and hear from our guests. And normally we are in 212, we are serious about attendance. Attendance is very important. So if you decide to join a networking group, You have to make sure that you are committed and that you will attend the meetings. If you can't attend the meeting, then you can ask another professional to sub for you. So we will go here for our 30-second member profile, and we'll come back and hear from our guests if someone has a guest that's in place of them that if they're absent. So we're going to start with, you can go first.
Hello, my name is Matthew Brown. I have a company called Created Photography. Let me give you a little bit of background. I graduated from Tucker High School back in 1987. I went to VCU, studied psychology, and then I worked at a law firm for over 20 years. And then 10 years ago, I started my photography business. And I've been doing commercial photography. I shoot for Virginia Business Magazine. And like a lot of photographers, I started out with my photography business as my name, Matthew Brown Photography. But a few years ago, I changed the name of my company to Created Photography. And I say to people, I help you remember Created Photography because I believe that every single individual has been created in the image of God. And that everything you see around you, outside and inside, has been created for a purpose. So that's part of the mission of my photography business. Because I am an individual photography business owner, I can do that with my business. I can have a focus on my business. And also, I don't just do photography. Like I said, I've been shooting for Virginia Business Magazine for about 5 years. And here's a piece of like my photography art. And the reason they're holding up this piece of paper is because I only had about 30 seconds and I'm done. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tina Silva, and I'm with Devil Dog Ranch. I actually graduated from the Henrico County School Systems from Highland Springs. I also attended the Tech Center, the Veterinary Science program over at Hermitage, which has definitely been a huge influence in everything that I do today. I was able to get my first degree from J. Sargent Reynolds in fire science, and then I moved out to Utah and got a degree in business entrepreneurship. And so now, after spending 18 years in the fire service, I've now started a program that offers equine assisted psychotherapy and learning. We focus on veterans and first responders with PTSD.
Good morning, Andy Fulgham with Atlantic Logo Wear. Let's see, graduated from Midlothian High School and I'm with VCU School of Business Product. Atlantic Logo Wear, we do custom screen printed apparel, all types of branded marketing products. A great referral for me is a marketing director. In particular, Sam Smith with ABC Company and Nancy Marshall with XYZ Company. I would love to meet those individuals. Andy Fulgham, Atlantic Logo Wear, your business will help you do more of it.
Morning, Robert Dewey. I graduated Cosby back in 2011 and then ODU back in 2017. Took the 6.5-year route because I didn't know what I wanted to do in college. It took me forever. Once I got out, I just did a distribution job with Brown Distribution here in Richmond for a few years. Then when I got fired, found this job at One Time Plumber, became the branding and marketing guy. And I absolutely love it. One Time Plumber, we're your emergency 24/7 response team for all plumbing drain cleaning needs, whether it's just a small clog in the toilet or you got a brand new fire hydrant popping up in your front yard. No job is too big or too small.
Good morning, my name is Steve Fair. I have a company called the Ridgefield Group. We're an IT consulting firm. I grew up in upstate New York on a small farm in the middle of nowhere, went to college in Ohio, studied philosophy, which if you're interested in doing, I can guarantee graduate schools in your future. So I ended up getting an MBA and then helped start an IT consulting firm. We help businesses run and operate their IT needs from hardware, software, infrastructure, networking, web design, web development, e-commerce, digital marketing. If it plugs in and frustrates you, that's why you need us. Steve Fair with the Ridgefield Group.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tori Eiselstein with Unfair Advantage Marketing. I'm a social media manager and account executive. So I actually did not go to college. I didn't think it was really a good fit for me. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, adventure spirit. So I went right into ministry and lived overseas for a bit and then dabbled in a few different businesses until
Good morning, I'm Tracy Gerard with Gerard Real Estate Group, brokered by EXP Realty. I help people buy and sell homes. I graduated in 1992, and I decided to go to a community college, of which I did 3 years at John Tyler Community College, is now Brightview. But I took a Principles of Real Estate class, and once I took that, I started my real estate career in 2005. So I help people buy and sell homes, and then I also buy real estate investment properties. So when we buy properties, we fix them up, and then we turn around and sell them. So, yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley Oswald. I graduated from Lee Davis High School in 2011. Then I played soccer at Randolph College. Then I came back home and got my associate's degree from J. Sargent Reynolds. Now I am the business development manager at Smiley's Auto Glass. So when you're driving down the road and a rock hits your windshield because you got behind a dump truck, I want you to think of me and call me so we can get that fixed for you. The people in this room, thank you guys for coming to the meeting today, and everybody in this room could help me because we are looking to hire high school graduates. We have internship and apprentice programs to train you to be technicians and install windshields. Thank you.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Scott Waters. When I was 15 years old, I started my first business. I made bow ties, and then at the young age of 19, I sold that business to a larger company. Since then, I've started and sold 2 businesses. I've probably had 20 that have failed, and now I currently own two businesses, one of which we do payment processing for businesses, so we help businesses accept credit cards, ACH, cash, things like that. And then the other business that I own, I recently purchased a business that makes business cards for business owners. It's an online-based business. So, yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Comedy Hypnosis is amazing, and I'm Colin Chapman with the Comedy Hypnosis is Amazing show. One of the reasons why Comedy Hypnosis is amazing is it saves lives. It saves lives because it helps people laugh. And believe me, we need more of that right now. It also saves lives because I do a lot of shows for post-prom, post-grad events for high schools so that there aren't tragedies happening after prom or after graduation. Fantastic referrals for me are PTSO organizations and also high school activities. I'm Colin Chapman, and Comedy Hypnosis is amazing.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Fisher. I'm a financial advisor with Wealth Cycle Advisors. We help individuals define, plan, and monitor their financial goals so that they can become full circle. Whether it's investing or financial, just managing and planning, that's what we're here to help with, to kind of get those monsters out of the closet and help you to take that next step to reaching your financial goals. I'm a product of the Shenandoah Valley. I'm from Waynesboro, and Waynesboro High School is where I graduated, went to Bridgewater College, and then transplanted out here in 2007. It's been a great time, and I just love the area, and I'm happy to be here today. Josh Fisher, Wealth Cycle Advisors.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Rodriguez. I am the branch manager at People's Bank. We are based out of Ohio. We have one branch here in Richmond, which is the OG branch of Consolidated Bank and Trust, which was the original bank of Matthew Walker. I graduated from Georgia High School in 2007, and I went to Virginia Union, where I studied business and secondary education. Thanks.
All right, now it is time for our vice chair report.
As you can see in this room, we've got a wide variety of business professionals, salespeople, business owners, etc. But we are looking to expand our group, so specific classifications that we're looking to fill and feel that can add a significant value to our team include the following. We're looking for an office equipment salesperson, a landscaper, a roofer, a mechanic, an insurance agent, a dog trainer, and anybody else that you think would enjoy and benefit from our networking group. We'd love to meet with them.
Awesome, thank you, Ashley. Now it's time for our team administrator report.
All right, let's see here. Last week we passed 7 referrals, resulting in $19,400 worth of business. Year to date, we have passed 165 referrals, resulting in $900,000 worth of business.
So now it is time for our member spotlight, and you guys during this time, we take normally 5 minutes. We're not gonna do 5 minutes today, for the sake of time, but we take 5 minutes and we give each, member, a chance to just dive a little bit deeper into their business.
So normally during this time, as she said, it would rotate around the group, and one member that week would have 5 minutes to go into detail about their business, to put on a presentation. Most of the businesses most of the 212 groups have some form of TV or presentation board, and they would speak for 5 minutes. And the most effective ones speak a little bit about their own personal reason, their personal passions about their business that they can share with the rest of the group. So the group really gets a good understanding of why they do what they do and how they're different from other people who do what they do, but also how they contribute to the group. So I, as a photographer, videographer, content creator, might show a video that I've presented, that I've worked on for a client, maybe show a 30-second video, maybe show some of my photographs. But other people in the group, when they have their time up, they might talk about what the thing is they're passionate about, or they might tell a little bit about, like I said, the story of how they got to where they are. And when you get out into the business world, that's what makes networking strong, is understanding the people you are working with and taking time to know their stories. So that's what brings a network together to make it strong. So that would be my 5 minutes, so I would say thank you.
Okay, awesome, thank you. And at this time, we'll have our mentor moment, and our mentor moment is, I'll let you go ahead and explain what it is.
So each week, we like to do something to help improve ourselves, right? Even though we're all up here in business and we've done different things, we never stop learning, we never stop improving, we never stop getting better at our craft or what we do. So this piece of a mentor moment is supposed to be helpful in allowing us to learn more and do better in our business. So how many of you have ever held an iPad before? Anybody ever held an iPad, right? Do you know when the iPad was invented? 2010, all right? Some of you weren't alive in 2010. But the iPad comes out, and the owner, or the CEO of Apple Computer at that time was a gentleman by the name of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs died a few years ago, so he's no longer with us. But he was a notoriously difficult person to work with, a very challenging human being. And so you'd go into a meeting, and he would shred ideas. He would just be very challenging. And he always thought that his ideas were the best in the room every single time. You ever work with a boss like that? We all have, right? Anyway, there was a marketing company who was helping Steve Jobs and Apple decide how to market the iPad. And Steve Jobs was insistent. This iPad was so cool, so great. It had all these different functions, and he wanted every ad for the iPad to show 5 ideas in the ad. 5 ways the iPad could improve your work, improve your business, improve your life. The marketing firm said, no, not 5, only 1 idea. Steve Jobs dug in. My company, my device, my rules, 5 ideas. No, 1 idea, the marketing company kept saying. So finally, they're at the end of the day, they're fighting it through, and Steve Jobs says, you have 3 seconds to prove to me that 1 idea is all it takes. I'm gonna need Colin's help here on this one. Colin, would you come up? So, pretend that Colin, stand right there. Colin is Steve Jobs. The marketing agency said, each one of these, you are wearing black. Each one of these pieces of paper represents 1 idea. Each one of these is 1 concept in the ad. And so what we're going to do is we're going to show you how marketing works. Mr. Jobs, we want to communicate 5 ideas at once. You're the audience. You need to capture all 5 of these at the same time. Ready? Go. And he missed every single one. Why does he miss every single one? Because in marketing, in our businesses, in everything that we do, keep it simple. One idea, communicate, and you're successful. That's the mentor moment.
All right, that is time for our contribution section.
During this time, we would say about referral business that had been given to us. And so I want to thank Steve. He gave some business to me, so it was business worth about $5,000. As a gift, I'm going to give him this this piece of photography artwork that I did. And
Very much. That is beautiful. Thank you very much.
this is just an expression of the gratitude. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can be taking someone out to lunch. It can be some other form, but we'll go over it.
I have a referral for Robert Dewey. My friend Jeff, he has a leak in his sink, under his sink, and he's expecting your call.
Let's see, and I've got a referral from Tracy. My brother is moving back here from Florida. He's looking for a house in the museum district. So I told him all about you. He said, yes, hook me up with her. So it's coming your way.
Steve, thank you for the mentor moment. Especially, I need to remember to keep it simple. I try to expand a little too much my ideas at times. And thank you, Matthew, for sending your father over to us for long work we did.
Hey, Matthew, I just want to say thanks for sharing your business. I learned a lot about you, even more than I thought I already knew. So thanks for making that happen. And thank you to our guests for joining us today. It's great to see you.
So I had 2 biz chats this week with Tina and Matthew, and I received 3,500 closed business this week.
All right, thank you guys for coming. That was a great mentor moment, great 5-minute, and I have a referral for Josh. I have a client who just purchased a home and they want to start investing and saving.
I actually did 10 windshields this week from members of this group and other 212 groups that I've visited and that I've learned to expand my network. So I'm getting a lot of business from 212, and I just wanted to thank everybody, and I'll be turning those numbers in for our reports very shortly.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for having us at JR Tucker. And
Thanks for having us, because I was paying attention. I know I need new business cards, and I didn't even know you had of your many, many entrepreneurship successes that you've done that. So that's a referral there.
Great to see everybody today, and thank you for sharing your passion about your business. It's great to know who you are, who's behind the camera, and I really appreciate us just having that idea of making the most of that one shot and taking advantage of that. Thank you guys for being here. It's great to see everybody.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Steve, for your mentor moment and your spotlight on Matthew. I have a referral for Tracy. I signed someone up for a mortgage loan, and they are ready to buy their first house.
So we're just going to open it up for questions. Does anyone have any questions that in the audience? Any questions about networking?
Anybody have a question?
Oh,
I would say the ability to take risks.
yes. I think we should let Steve.
What do I think is the most important skill required to be an entrepreneur? I'll admit, I'm stealing this answer because I think it's the best answer I've ever heard to that question. Learn to fail fast. Learn to fail fast. Don't just be content, but push the envelope, and when you're failing, keep finding the next opportunity, the next answer. Learn to fail quickly.
I would say resilience. Because as an entrepreneur, you are going to get punched in the mouth. The question is, are you going to be able to get back up and stay in the fight?
I'll add another word to it, fluidity. He just said get punched in the mouth. Anybody familiar with Bruce Lee? Bruce Lee said to be like water. You have to be flexible and nimble in all that you do. Things are going to come the way that you don't expect. In and around them, be fluid.
And I would actually add to that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Grant Cardone, but he's an author, a motivational speaker, but he always says, say yes to everything. Like, just say yes. Say yes and figure it out later. So if someone's asking you, hey, do you want to, speak at this event, or you may be scared or whatever, but just say yes to everything and figure out how you're going to do it later. But you never want to miss an opportunity by fear or being scared or anything. So just say yes.
Well, I think Scott Waters is down there is probably one of the best examples of what an entrepreneur is. As he said, in his own words, he's failed at lots of businesses, but it doesn't keep him from continuing to try and doing it over and over and over. So one of the big things I found later in my life is like, don't be a perfectionist, because perfection is the enemy of success in a way. So as a photographer, that's hard to get past because you're trying to look for perfection in images, but that's a separate thing. As for business, it's about putting yourself out there and doing it over and over and over.
Best piece of advice I would offer to my younger self is that you're gonna work really hard in life. No matter what path you choose, whether that's starting your own business, whether that's going the corporate route, whatever it is, you're gonna work really hard in life. So you just wanna get comfortable with it early. Probably the thing that I'm most thankful for when I was in high school was I took culinary arts. And my culinary arts teacher really taught me about what work ethic is, to the point now I might not be as smart as the person next to me, but I certainly will work 2-3 times harder than them to get the job done.
I got one. Just be kind. Always be nice to anybody you interact with. You never know what anybody's going through. Professionally, personally, you'll run into them later in life and wish that maybe you were nicer to that person instead of taking your frustrations out or being a bully or whatever it is. Just be kind.
I'm going to piggyback off that, actually. Funny enough, a couple of months ago, I actually ran into my old high school bully, who is a manager of a restaurant. Guess what? He's one of my customers now. We didn't expect 10 years ago that we would be working together, but you just never know who in this room you'll be working with 10 years from now. So always just be considerate and kind.
I would actually, for me, I wish I would have not compared myself to other people. I'm older now, and I definitely don't do that, and I see myself going farther. But as a teenager, I would always compare myself. Oh, this person looks better than me, or is smaller than me, or whatever. Just don't compare yourself to anyone else. You are your unique person. You are your unique self, I should say, and you are enough. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Just be yourself.
I just want to add that I would say enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, be content with where you are. So many times, like when I was in high school, when I was in college, I just couldn't wait till the next step. I couldn't wait till I started my business, till I started this and got this and got this, had the house, had the kids, and just enjoy where you're at right now.
One thought I got to share, but everybody should save more, right? You are never too young to start saving. As soon as you are able, get a financial advisor like Josh, right? Because you're going to be 50 before you know it.
Okay, are technical skills more important than people skills? Yes and no. Yes and no. You have to have chops. You've got to be able to do something productive, right? But you also have to be able to communicate exceptionally well. I think the right answer to this question is yes and yes. It's not either or. You want to challenge yourself to be as technically competent, as skilled as possible, and also communicate clearly. It's incredible in my world how many people use acronyms and jargon and all kinds of big words to try to make other people feel inferior. Nobody likes that person. Everybody would rather you speak clearly and plainly and directly and communicate exceedingly well, even if it's simple, because then other people get it. So the answer to that question from my perspective is yes and yes. Do both to the best of your ability. You can always get better. There's no cap on your learning. You'll always be opening a book and doing more. Education doesn't end at graduation, ever.
I'll tell you something that most people won't. Your future is not a pair of socks you pick up at Walmart where it's one size fits all. Some of you going to college, getting graduate degrees makes sense. But for a lot of you, you're setting money on fire. You're setting years on fire. YouTube University is a heck of an awesome thing. I'm going to tell you, I'm not so concerned about that question. I'm concerned about you being you and you being the best version of you that you can possibly be.
The hardest step you're going to take in life is the first step. I do a lot of sort of coaching with other business owners in my field, and I can't tell you how many people I talk to that are like, yeah, man, I'm getting the LLC set up and then we can get rolling. And I call them back 6 months later and I say, where are we at? And they're like, yeah, I'm still working on that LLC. Takes 10 minutes, $100, go to virginia.gov and you can register an LLC and you can get started. The hardest thing always is taking that first step. And you're gonna sit there for months, for years, questioning, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? And if you just done it 10 years ago, 6 months ago, whatever it is, where you're at now is gonna be a lot better than if you hadn't taken that first step. So it's always, always, always the hardest thing to do, and you just gotta get up and do it.
And I think for me, fear will keep you from taking that first step. So don't let fear, I know it did for me. My business didn't take off until 7 years ago. I'm 50 years old now. I wish I would have known what I know now back then, and I wish I wouldn't have been afraid. You know, I got my real estate license, but I was so scared. I was still working. I didn't want to jump into feet first because I was scared. So if you have fear, just take that fear away and just jump, just do it. You know, you just never know. Just do it. Take the chance and don't let fear stop you.
So to answer the question, when did you decide to take the first step? Somebody in this room wrote in this question, right now. Whatever made you think of that question, you had an idea or you had oh, maybe I could do this, maybe. Make the decision, take the first step right now. Don't let it fall off your plate or, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow or anything like that. Right here, right now.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and answer this one. My work life, until I had work-life balance, can negatively affect my family life because I was so all in. I got up in the morning, I wanted to work all the way until even when I got home and everyone was in the kitchen eating dinner, I was in my office, I was working. So it can affect your family life for sure. And so you can kind of come up with, surround yourself, I guess, with people that can help you to have some balance, because you can't do it all by yourself. And for me, I was trying to do it all by myself. Like no one else can do it the way that I can do it, so I wanted to do it. But when you let go and let other people start to take on certain jobs in your business, you can create the balance.
So I'm gonna maybe like crash this whole thing, which is there is no balance. There's no work-life balance. There's your life, which is the most important thing, and there's work. And work is the thing that lets you live your life. So if you have a family, your family is first. You do the work so that you can build your family, be with your family, set time with your family, do those things for your family. It's not about a balance. That's kind of a myth, I think. It's you're doing the things that you're working on because of your family. And if you're single or you're by yourself, you're doing it for yourself, yes, but you're also doing it to build something, hopefully. Maybe a legacy. Maybe it's a name. So, but there is no, I think there's the myth is there's balance. It's not a balance like you go here, you go there. You put your family first, if you have a family.
Back in the early 80s, late 70s, the U.S. Navy had a recruiting campaign, and the tagline on it was, "The toughest job you'll ever love," which is why I joined the Army, because I didn't want that. I later found out that the toughest job you'll ever love, being a dad. To the young men in this room, I'm going to ask you to do something. Commit to being a great husband and a great dad. All this other stuff, it doesn't matter. I can tell you, it doesn't matter what else I accomplish. At the end of the day, the greatest thing I've ever done is being Alex and CJ's dad.
What would you describe as the lowest point of your career, and have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome?
So last year in May, I got fired from Brown Distribution. I'd been working there for 4 years. I had been promoted a couple times throughout the company. So I was riding high there. I thought I was doing well, never really had any complaints. And then an outside factor hit, the alcohol world, and everyone knows about how Bud Light was getting dragged through the mud about last year. For me, that was my number one product. And overnight, that became the worst selling product I had. I couldn't move that product because no one wanted it, no one wanted to drink it. And so my company fired me because of that, because they were like, it's your fault that you're down 4% for the year for a national product that's down like 50% year of the date. I ended up, my boss had a meeting with me, he said, come in on Friday, we're gonna talk. I thought it's all fine, and then as I'm joking, he's like, we're gonna wait for the VP to get in. It's like, what, am I being fired? Haha, he's like, it's gonna be fine. And that's where I knew it was all gonna go down. I can tell you that was the ugliest I've ever cried, because I had just bought a house, newly engaged. I literally thought that because of that firing, I was about to live on the street by myself, be kicked out of the house, and be lonely. And I'm telling you, being fired from that job actually helped me out so much. You can find out that sometimes your lowest point in life is going to be the springboard to help propel you so much further in life. I never would have found one-time plumber, wasn't for being fired from Brown. I would not be my own manager, wasn't for being fired at Brown. I would not be having as much fun doing what I'm doing, wasn't for being fired at Brown, and I would not have met all these wonderful people on stage. It was not being for fired at Brown.
Yeah, so when I was 25 years old, for some context, I used to own a retail store. And I thought that was going to be my whole life. I thought I was going to open a bunch more of these stores. I thought that was going to be the way that I went. Everything was going to be great. And then I had an employee steal about $5,000 worth of lottery tickets from me. Fast forward about 4 months after that, my store got robbed at gunpoint. A month later, we were broken into in the middle of the night, and that final month, we were broken into again in the middle of the night. I lost over about $80,000 just in different products and different things that had been robbed. I lost all of my employees at that time because nobody wanted to work at the store that they kept getting robbed at, and people kept robbing us at gunpoint. So, had to make the difficult decision to close that business, and for probably about a year, I really felt like I had imposter syndrome because I said, hey, I'm this guy, I'm an entrepreneur, I can build this business, but then it can all fall down overnight, it can all crumble, and it's not because of these outside circumstances. I was really putting it on myself. It was my fault, that we got robbed. It was my fault that an employee who I trusted decided to steal from me. It was my fault. So I blame myself a lot, and I think that's really what imposter syndrome is where you have these external circumstances that really kind of control your life, but you put that blame on you. It's not your fault that something happened outside of your control, but a lot of times we like to blame ourselves for that. So for about a year, I really questioned it, finally started, one of my most recent ventures, and again, looking back at it about 2 years from when I started this business, let me put it to you this way. In the 7 years that I owned that retail business, I have made more money in 1 year than all 7 years of that business. So I'm sitting here questioning, concerned, thinking that I'm not enough, and really the universe was guiding me to my next step where I would be able to be more successful. So, yeah.
I just wanted to share, so 12 years ago I had moved into literally my dream farm facility that I wanted, move there with horses, home, everything. And unfortunately I had married the wrong person, and very long, difficult story short, in the middle of one night I left the clothes on my back. I had someone that picked up my horses, and I basically just got out with the clothes on my back, the animals I could get out before he could come home, and so I lost everything almost, and I just kept getting back up afterwards after that, just not giving up. So but it was definitely a ride.
Alright guys, so our session is now coming to a close. I want to thank you guys all so much for being so courteous and respectful to 212, but I would also like to extend a big thank you to 212 for coming over here and showing us what they do. So can we please give them a big round of applause? Thank you guys so much.
Hey guys, thank you so much. I'm going to meet you at the back doors. I'm going to give you your pass. If you guys want to hang, I'll take you back over to you.
Is it still on? I just want to say thank you all for being so